Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be putting on this new cold air intake. Our last video, remember I was working on the motorcycle. We just finished that, and then now I'm working on my Ram. I told you it was hot today. It's like 89 degrees, 89 degrees, and so I'm wearing my t-shirt and shorts because it's so hot out and it's only in March. And so what I decided today is go ahead and tackle some projects that I wanted to do. First I did the motorcycle and the headlights, which we did in the last video. Right now, I'm going to work on my Ram. I have a 2019 Ram 1500. Bought it in July 19, and today's the first week of March 2020. So I decided to go ahead and install this new Vararam air intake that I heard such good things about, and it looks cool too. So what we're going to do today is that we're going to tackle that. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I bought this Ram with the hood, with the Rebel hood. It has the fake air dams here, this in the middle there. I'm gonna, in another video, I'm gonna tackle these air dams here. I'm gonna see if we can get them to be, heat exchangers, like some of the Cobras and the Subarus. They have heat exchange. So these are they're not fake, so it actually does something. But I did some research, and nobody has done that yet. No one has attempted to take off those plastic louvers and cut into them. So I might be doing that later. But I did go inside, another subject, I did go and took off this liner and saw the inside of the black louvers there. And yeah, they're all sealed. There's no air going through there or anything. So, but that'll be another time. So today we're going to go ahead and attempt to actually put this thing on. It didn't look like that's that hard, but it is, kind of time consuming. So let's get started. So I'm going to open up the package. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open this package and see what's inside. All right. Remember, always be very careful when you're cutting. You're not actually cutting into the product itself. So it's shallowed up, make it short so that way you don't accidentally cut into it. Alright. Instructions in here. Okay. This piece here. It's only a couple pieces it comes in. It's all in one piece. Wow, looks nice. Look at that, huh? Underneath here, there is a rubber. It's the heat, so I guess it helps with the heat. So, and also maybe to seal it too. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then it has a nice rubber piece in here that goes around. Let's take off the filter and see what it looks like. I wish they made a hood. They said that they maybe in the future they're going to make a hood that will, like the RTs, All right, so yeah, it's just a plastic piece and a big filter. I don't know how much it will cost to replace this filter in the future, but it's pretty big. I don't know if they make replacements yet, but I don't know how long one of these supposed to last. I know the K&N filter says 100,000 miles, but that depends on where you live. This thing, the way it fits in here, it's not very, it doesn't fit snug. I don't know. I kind of. Some people put a rubber piece underneath this too, give it a little bit more seal. I might try that too, because it's, I don't know, the way it's sitting in there, it's not very, I know by the time you push down on it, I don't know, it's okay, but it's not great fitting. Okay, so we will take off all this material here, and then let me read the directions and see what it says, and then we will continue. All right. Okay, I read the directions. That's, just a quick overview of what's going to need to be done. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. Okay, so every time you work on anything on your vehicle that has any electrical connected, you should be disconnecting your battery. Okay, so 10 millimeter socket. All right, just loosen it up. Nice loose. All right, jiggle around. This thing is so new. Everything's new on this, so everything's hard to do. Here we go. Disconnect it. All right. Okay, just get out of the way. Make sure it doesn't touch. All right. So after you do that, take all this stuff off here. Now you gotta take the shroud off. I think the next step is, but I bought this on Amazon. Actually, it's a whole kit of what do you call these? They take off all the pieces here. I went ahead and took the liner off so I can see underneath the hood, see what it was like. Those were very hard to take off, so I didn't want to damage, the cover, because it's very soft material, and so I went ahead and just broke off all the pieces instead of trying to save it. Yeah, these clips here that are made for this, it's pretty hard to pull back out. They make it so it only goes one way in. So instead of me trying to finagle it, even with these tools, it was breaking the inside of the cover. So I just broke them off, cut them off or pull them off with a pair of pliers, and then replace them with ones that I can reuse. You pull on and off. So since I'm going to be doing a couple more things with the hood. Okay, so here, same thing. They want you to pop these out. And on these, they're pretty easy. See? There you go. See, they just pop out like that. Okay. And the whole thing pops out. Easy as that. Okay, so I'm going to be doing, and then that way I won't lose them. I'm going to be doing that to all of these here. All right. Okay, I took all these fasteners off, and I kept them together so that way I don't lose them. Okay. So I think that's everything in the front here. Let's take all the tools off. Now this thing should come right out, right? This is. And there's a little, on the edge here, there's a little insert that you gotta take off. Okay, so this whole thing comes off, sits on the side. All right. Okay, that exposes the radiator, and and access to all this in here also. Okay. And it also tells you to remove that back plate too. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, because it doesn't say it. It doesn't say it till later on in the instructions, but I'll go ahead and take it off now, since I know it has come off, and since I'm height challenged, I have to get on the stool step. Plus, I'm on my driveway that's pointing up higher too. So, but they want you to take loosen up that rear. I don't know, you can see. They want you to take off this that engine cover right here, where it says Hemi. They want you to take that off also. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay. So let's do that. Oh my God, I can't even get in it. I hope I don't fall. There's one here. Okay, there's one there. And there's one on the side. Now they say that you can leave it on, I think. It says that. You can leave it on, but you might have to modify it a little bit, cut it or something. So we'll see. There we go. 2 screws, or yep, 2 bolts, I should say. Let's see, this thing should lift right up. There we go. Okay, comes out. There's a little. There's 2 little tubes that it goes into. So I'll throw that one out. Okay, next I'm going to be removing this tube here, but at first it says to remove the OEM air temperature sensor by squeezing and pulling on the wiring harness. Okay, so that's this thing right here. Here we go. I just removed it, so that goes right there. I'm going to put it to the edge there. So I'm going to remove this with an 8mm socket, or you can use a screwdriver, whichever one. Okay. There we go. See, it popped right out. Okay. And also, there's a sensor back here in the rear. So it tells you to squeeze it out. I don't know where to squeeze. There we go. I took the whole thing off so I can flip it over. Let's see what the heck I'm doing. Okay. There we go. There we go. Whew. Ouch, that hurt. Yeah, you have to squeeze this thing in. See, it was hard to get to from the back, so that's why I took off this tubing. So that way you have to take this and you can squeeze it. Once you squeeze it, you can pull it out. And what I can do is, when you put it back in, I can put some WD-40 on it to make it a little easier to slide in. Okay, so that's out too. It says pull and twist, so pull and twist. There it goes. Just be real careful. I twisted it and slowly pull it out. There we go. I don't know if you can see, but it has a little blue thing in the middle, and the air has to go through that. So that's what it looks like. Pull and twist and remove sensor. All right, so I did that. So I gotta make sure this thing is somewhere safe. So now what they want you to do is take that piece that I took off, the little sensor, that little loop. It says here. See, it says right there, that little thing, and put it into the tubing that I gave you. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so that's what this tubing looks like here. This just goes in there like that. So it tells you just to put it in there. you would think that it has more of a you know, something that you can, it's not just, there's no hard plastic for you to, you know, like the original, there's a hard plastic piece and then this thing screws into it, but this thing doesn't have that. So, and then what you do is that once you put it in, you got to make sure that, like the picture saying, is that you need to turn this thing so that the air flows through the loop. And I don't know if you can see or not, but you see, you got to do it to where it goes through the air goes through the loop and not block it if you turn it the other way. I wonder if you can go farther in. Yeah, I really don't like the way this thing is fitting in there, but I guess it's okay since they say it's okay. Okay. All right, so, okay, I positioned it. Looks good to me. Okay. All right. Because it's going to be going like this towards the firewall. Okay. All right. All right, next, remove the stock PVC line by squeezing. I'm going to set this thing down. Okay, so next step is to find the PVC line and then put this on top of it. Okay, so I was wondering what it was. It looked different from the instructions, but this long tube right here, and you can see there's a tube right here that goes, that you took off earlier. Remember, it's connected to the tube, the plastic tube that was the original. Remember the head that I had to squeeze? Well, you can pull that right off of the tubing coming out right by the power steering. So you can take this little tube here out, and then this will go in back into the hole, I think. Yeah. Oof, it's gonna be a tight fit, guys. I think I'm gonna need some WD-40 for sure. Okay, so but that's where it goes. Let me try to get it to fit in. I'm gonna finagle it a little bit, you know, put some WD-40 on it. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and squeezed it in there. It's hard to see, but I went ahead and put WD-40 on it, and also a tightener that they gave you. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna get it real close. See that silver? Ouch. See the silver there, right behind the engine oil, where you put oil in. See it? So we just had to squeeze it in there, and then I went ahead and put a clamp on it. So I'm going to tighten up the clamp. Okay. Whew. That was a little rough though. It was definitely hard to squeeze in, and I think the picture might be for another model, because the 19, it doesn't have that elbow that they were talking about, unless I missed it. I don't. There was definitely no elbow here. No elbow, just straight into that tube. Okay. So I'll go ahead and tighten that up. Probably an 8 or 10. Let me check. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. All right, we're in. I think that's all I needed. All right. Okay, now next step. Assembling the VR system. So they want us to attach the pieces on the ground, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna piece it on the ground and then I'll put it up, okay? Okay, so they want us to put this piece in. Of according to instructions, they want to do it on the ground. So we'll go ahead and put this on the ground. And then what they wanted you to do is flip this thing over on its back, right? And these little things goes into the holes like this. All right, loosely put it on. Let's see if I can find the other holes to match up, which they don't. You know, they never make it easy. I don't understand. So the one on this end almost matches, but the middle doesn't match. Ugh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm gonna have to, you know, it's not that hard. These things are, let's see if I can finagle it in. I mean, it's like half of these rivets off. It's so close, but I don't think it would be able to bend. Jesus. All right, let me work on this, and then I will come back when I get it all together. Okay. Okay. So I did a little drilling. So the 3 holes that goes to this didn't match. It didn't match the holes. So what I did is I just went ahead and drilled another hole right next to it and connected it. I'm not going to return the whole thing just for that, because then I wanted to get it done and over with, and it's something that it's an easy fix. But definitely quality control on their part. They should have, you know, spending this much money. I shouldn't have to be doing that. So maybe something they can improve in the future. Okay, but yeah, for someone to have to go through all this is not necessarily a good thing. Okay, but you know, if you're handy and you don't mind drilling into the hole, no one's going to see it. It's going to be underneath, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue what we were doing. So I just took a drill and drill a hole right next to it. It was like a half of a hole off, so I probably made it a little bit bigger than I wanted to. Okay, I went ahead and took off those screws and that plastic piece, the extra plastic piece that was on here. Remember? I took it off because it was going way down too far on the radiator, and I didn't want it to block any of the air to the radiator. Okay, so let's put this thing back on. There we go. Now, there. I like that much better, actually. Now this thing, I have a plastic piece right here. If it wasn't for that, it would go farther down, but and there's water vents right here. There's little holes for water. I'd like it to come down just a little. Let me see. This piece right here. Wish we could do something with this plastic shroud. I really don't want to cut it. But I think it was for, this, once it goes in here, I think it was made so that, yeah, see, it was actually made for this so that it would not flip down. but since I'm not using, or that is there, I might try to cut it off. I think I'm gonna do it because it's just a supports this thing right here. Okay, but now that I have that, I won't need it anymore. So let's see if what it looks like when everything is on, because I want to use this piece again. Yeah, that's the point of, doing all this, is trial and error, and if you enjoy doing this kind of stuff, it's fun, right? And you solve problems. Not everything's always going to fit the same or perfectly, and you might have to do some adjustments, and then you do it the way you like it, how you like it. So okay, so if this thing it still uses air, still comes through here. Now it would work. It won't have to use that. See? Once I clamp everything down, that might be okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it, and that way this thing will lay flat. Okay? Alright, so we'll take this out. Alright, let me go get some stuff, and we'll be right back. Okay, first I'm going to try this, what is this, like a X-Acto knife, or what do they call this, utility knife, and I'm going to keep on slicing it. I really don't want to use a power tool, because it might be too much, when you use a power tool. So let's do this a couple times and see if we can cut through it. I don't think it's gonna work. Let's use it. I have to use my Dremel. Let's try the Dremel, the Dremel, and see. And cut it from the other side. Okay. Okay, back. I've never used this tool before, so this will be my first time. It says a blade that says wood and plastic, so I should be able to go and just like cut along the edge there. If I line it up to this aluminum right here and just run it along the aluminum, theoretically it should work, right? So, alrighty. As long as I don't hurt it. Okay, here we go. Not bad. It works. What is this thing called? Oscillating multifunctional power tool. Brand new. I haven't bought it at Northern Tools. Works pretty well. Okay. Okay, I trimmed that piece off there. It's you probably cut your finger on it if you touched it. It is still kind of sharp, but I took away that little lip there. Let's try to put this thing back on, see what it looks like. Look at that. Much better. And it's level too. If you look down like that, it's definitely more level. Okay. And even though there's a little little bounce to it. I still rather have that than where it was raised up. Okay, the next step we're gonna do is set this thing down. They said to raise it and tighten it up just a little bit, and then close the hood so that you push this piece down, the hood on top of the filter. So that's what I got to do, to put the filter on and everything, and then put the hood down. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, let me see if I can find some foam that I can put underneath this thing, because it doesn't fit in that hole very well. Yeah, this, I don't know. I think the fit and finish on this, I don't rate it very high. I think it could have been done much better than the way it is. For the price that you're paying for this, it should be, you know, everything should be fitting perfectly on here. All right, I'll be back, see if I can find some rubber or some foam that I can put underneath this, because there is a gap in here that I really don't like, and I've heard that online also. Okay, be right back. Okay, so a while back, luckily I have this foam. It's just weather stripping. I don't know what I bought it for. I bought it for something. That's why you always save stuff, because you never know when you're going to use it again. But it's probably like 2-inch wide, and it's not really sticky, but it's one side like this, and the other side has plastic, and you peel it back. You peel it back, and then you can stick it on here, and I can stick it right on top of the other one that's in here now, and that but I have to form it so that it will fit around there. So let me do that, and then I'll show you the final product when I'm finished doing it. Okay, I went ahead and put another piece of foam around the edge here, so it gives it another layer, a little higher, and see if the filter fitting on there would be any better. So let's see. Can you see? No, not much better, but I don't know. This thing is really what you can do. You know, I don't know what else to do to it. The filter is actually bigger than the oval itself. All right, I finally squeezed this top onto the piece here. It was a little tough because I put that foam in there, so this thing can't sink into the hole, which it doesn't anyways, because the bottom of it doesn't really fit into that hole that they made for it. So this thing actually is just floating on top with the foam on the bottom. I think it fits better this way than it did the other way. So you can do it both ways. And also I couldn't use the washer because it since it got raised up, it was really hard to put in the washer also. So plenty tight now. Okay. All right, now what we're supposed to do is you put this thing on and tighten it up a little bit, and let the hood push down on it. So let me go ahead and try to do that, and see where we can get it a good fitting. Okay, I went ahead and installed the top and adjusted the hood, and I tightened up the clamps underneath, so it's level where it should be. Also, don't forget to reconnect your sensor. That little, remember that little loop with the little eye in the middle. You gotta make sure you remember to hook that back up, the sensor back up. And here we are, right here. I did put the shroud back onto the motor. You see the motor there? There's a shroud. I put that back in there. You can see that. Alright. Also, now I'm going to put the cover on top of this one and see what how it fits in there. Okay, I think it should be okay. So the other cover, the engine cover, went in okay. You see it in the back. Hopefully you can see it back there. See it? All right, on both sides. So it does fit underneath there, like it should be. It might be a little dark. You might not be able to see it, but yeah, I put the cover back on. Okay, let's see how the front cover is going to look. All right, let's see. I think it looks okay. Some people say that they need to cut this. They needed to cut it. I don't think you would have to do that. I don't think. We're going to shut the hood. Make sure the hood shuts. That might be a problem. Yeah, it'll shut. Okay. I think it'll be fine. Okay. All right, so take all of our pin or fasteners, put them back in. Okay, so I put everything back on. All the fasteners are back on. I think it's a good fit. There's enough room on here to let air through. It's about a gap, probably about like that. But I think it's when the air is forced in there, it'll be plenty. I know some people put a little rubber mount right here, so see how you can flip it up just a little bit. I can do that. I might do that, but I got the battery hooked back up. The sensor on the tube. Remember that little loop that was inside the tube? That's hooked up, so everything should be ready to go. I haven't taken off the original box yet, but I can do that after I do the video. Let's start it back up and see what it sounds like. I didn't know you have to have the hood down for that. Nothing sounds any different. So start it back up, make sure everything starts. Double check there's no error code or anything like that. So what I see, everything looks good. So I will take it out for a drive later and see what it feels like. They say to drive it for about 30 minutes, so I have to find some straightaway roads and go fast, go slow, different speed, and let the computer relearn the air filter. All right, that should be it. It was longer than I thought. There was some modification that I had to do, but you It's not always perfect. These kits here are made for several different type of vehicles. Even though it's a Hemi, but it's this is a 2019. It was different from a 2017 or 18, so I had to do some modification, but I think everything worked out okay. All right. Thank you for watching. So if you like it, subscribe. I'm gonna be doing more stuff to this to my truck. You know, like I said before, when I was working on the motorcycle, that working on those louvers and the lights in the grill. I'm gonna work on the lights in the grill. I don't want to spend, was it $299, $300, or $199 or something like that. I'm gonna check and see if I can buy a light that's $35, $40 on Amazon and see if I can mount it. Okay, I will see you in the next project.